this is a complete lead generation masterclass. So I've booked as many as 264 sales calls in 1 month. I'm just going to be sharing exactly how I did it. All right, so if you don't know who I am, my name is Jack Blythe. I built my fitness coaching company to a little bit over 100K a month. I'm just sharing what I've learned along the way. So without further ado, it's going to be a complete masterclass. So if you want to book calls more consistently and predictably for your business, this is what you need. All right, so first off, at a high level, there's really only 3 ways to generate leads and book calls. Only 3 ways. This is it. There's 1, there's content. 2, there's outbound, so sending messages to people. 3, there's running paid ads. All right, that's it. That's literally the only 3 you can do. That is literally it. So I'm going to break down each of them and give you exact step-by-step how do you actually build out a consistent, predictable system to book calls every single day for your business. All right, because I've done all 3 of these. First one, let's start with content here. So content, you're watching this, you're probably creating some form of content right now because everyone is. All right, but you're probably not getting the results you want. You're not getting any inbound leads, people coming to you. You're not booking any calls. You're watching this video for a reason. So here's the thing with content. There's 2 big components that we're going to go over both. The first one is how do you actually organically get attention and create really good content that just goes viral, it shoots the moon. And I know how to do this because I've generated as many as 87.1 million views within 30 days. All right, this was all on Twitter actually. And that's more views than the NBA Finals. So I'm pretty good at this stuff. All right. So I'm going to share exactly how that works. So the first one is getting that organic viral attention. And the second thing I'm going to go over is how to actually boost it and get even more views on it to convert those into leads. All right, so let's jump in. So first thing is organically getting views, organically going viral basically. So I'm going to give you some tips here of what I found to work the best for this. All right, so I have, I think 3, maybe 4 tips here. We're going to go over them. So first thing, most people get this wrong, but the hook is everything for your content, everything. You need to spend 90% of your time literally on the hook. And what's the first, the first 5 seconds of the video, what's the headline of the thread that you're writing, whatever it is. That's the one thing that matters most, because if you think of it, if you want to get leads, you want to influence people to reach out to you, book a call with you. The first principle, the first thing that you do need is attention. If you don't have attention of the right target market, there's nothing to be done. There's nowhere, they can't skip attention and go straight to your, to the DMs or to the call. It's impossible. So we need attention first, and we do that through the hook. All right, the hook, there's so many different things you can do here. And the easiest thing I'll give you is study winners, or study already viral pieces of content. So this is called market resonance. Market resonance is anything that the target market deeply resonates with. So there's a lot of engagement, there's a lot of views on a specific piece of content. So this is the easiest thing to do. You can do for this, you can go to YouTube or you can go to Twitter. They have an advanced search function where basically you can search in keywords and you can search for the most viral stuff. And so you're searching at stuff that have millions of views, millions of impressions. And okay, what are the topics they're talking about? There's certain trending topics or hot buttons. This happens a lot. There's certain pain points, certain desires. What's the hook structure? Right? How are they building curiosity? How are they creating open loops? And you're just studying it. You want to create I literally what I have is I have a swipe file of just tons and tons and tons of viral hooks. And so I look at that whenever I'm creating hooks. And so it's very easy to piece together, take inspiration from, or maybe take a hook from a different market. Let's say I'm taking a hook from the financial market or something, or from fitness or from relationships, and I can say, okay, this hook actually is awesome. Let me just apply that to my offer and my niche. And a lot of times that works really well. All right, so you want to do that because the hook, again, it's 90% of it. All right, if you can just get way more attention in the first part, that's going to lead to way more leads in the back end. It's throughput. All right, so there's a little in, you can only get a little out, but if you get a lot in, you're going to get a lot out. All right, it all starts with attention. That's the first thing. All right, another thing you can do, this actually helps you get more attention in the first place, is what we call pattern interrupts. All right, pattern interrupts. So here's what pattern interrupt is. It's this is the thing of yourself, I got my phone here. Let's say you're scrolling on your phone, scrolling on Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, and then you see a post that's it pops out. It's different than everything else. All right, it interrupts the normal pattern of content. And so what you do is you stop scrolling, right? Pretty self-explanatory thing. You've done this before. You stop scrolling. That's what we call a pattern interrupt. It interrupts the normal pattern. And so look at like everyone else in your niche, in your space. Like, how are they creating content? What's their hooks? How can you do something just like completely different? Like completely different. Because think of this, like a fine example is this, for let's say you go to the beach. All right, I just went to the beach like a week and a half ago, spent like a week there. I only got like sunburned once, by the way. So pretty cool flex for me. Because I usually get sunburned all the time. But anyways, let's say I'm at the beach and, you know, everyone there is of course, you know, wearing bathing suits, you know, swim trunks, bikinis, normal beach wear, right? And let's say I see this one guy, you know, walking on the beach in like a, you know, full-blown tuxedo. All right. Obviously, like, what's going to happen is this is the one guy that has like a completely different look than everyone else. Who is like most people like going to look at or like stare at a little bit? It's the dude in the tux. All right. It's the one dude who stands out. All right. Remember, this contrast equals attention. Contrast equals attention. So if you're in a room full of green things and there's like one yellow thing, you're gonna look at the yellow thing. It stands out. So think of this. How can you apply this to your hook? How can you have a pattern interrupt, something that breaks the normal attention? It can be anything. It could be sound. Could be a certain look of something. Anything. All right, that is pattern interrupts. That's how you get more attention. The last big thing I'll mention here for content is you want to have consistency. All right, consistency. There's multiple reasons for this, but consistency. Platforms tend to like it, so they tend to favor creators that are more consistent with the platforms, like interacting more. Also, your audience will be like more loyal to you if you're consistently like consuming your stuff, and that helps to like boost your algorithm. And then also like you get better yourself. The more content you create, it's a reps thing. The more reps you put into something, you skill up at it, right? You just get better, and so that's a big thing right there. Now let's talk about how do you actually convert all these views into actual leads, the things that you want, the actual like calls booked on your calendar, potential clients, actually qualified clients. So here's what we do here. So all this traffic we're generating, what you want to do, I found the easiest, like the highest converting thing by far is going to be pushing all this traffic into your direct messages. All right, this is the easiest conversion mechanism ever. All right, I've tested this. I've tested comparing like this to like, I'll send them to a landing page or send them directly to your calendar. This works the best. All right, because it's a super low commitment, just DM me. And then also you can have yourself or a setter who can basically steer the conversation towards a call perfectly. And it's more like people love conversations. People like to interact with humans more rather than just clicking on a website. All right, it feels more legitimate and you're gonna get higher conversion rates. All right, so that's why we do that. And how you push everyone in DMs is like, for example, with all these viral pieces of content that you're creating, you want to put a call to action in it. That's basically, it's a super basic call to action. Basically says like calls out your target market and like makes an offer to them. So for example, you could say something like, dads, over 40. If you want to lose 30 to 50 pounds of fat, then DM me this keyword. And you can put a risk reversal in there as well if you'd like. If you have a guarantee, put that in there. But super basic like that. I'm looking for 3 more dads over 40 who want this result. DM me this keyword. And you also want to say like a certain keyword. So like I will say things myself like scale or leads, DM me this keyword. And the reason for that is you want to decrease friction as much as possible. If you just said DM me, then they have to think of, what should I DM? Should I DM like my situation, my goals? Like what do I say? And that alone, that small form of friction will make some people not reach out to you. It sounds stupid, but it literally adds up. Some people will not DM because they don't know what to say. All right, so that's huge. All right, so you want to do that, embed that in your viral content. The other thing you want to do is one time per week, have a standalone hand raiser post where you literally just make a simple offer. Hey, I have 3 more spots open for this thing. If you want this result, DM me this keyword. Do that once per week, every single week. All right, guarantee you will get more leads. All right, so that's how you push everyone to the DMs. Now, let's talk more about, we talked about how you can organically go viral, but the other thing you want to do, and I did this, and it helped me generate just an absurd amount of views, is I had this viral content. I was really good at it. I was really good at creating hooks and getting a ton of attention. I boosted this even more via like getting other creators to boost it. And then also you can boost posts organically through some platforms like using their ads technically. And so that's what I did. I would basically get other creators who, this kind of under the table, like this under the table thing, but you can easily reach out to other creators, network in them, and you can pay people to boost your stuff, or to repost it, to retweet, whatever platform you're on. You can do that. All right, and it works. It works really, really well. And so you can do that if you're really good at it already. If you do this, like you're just going to get more results. You're just going to get more eyeballs. And you obviously want to reach out to creators who have like your target market as their audience, as their followers. And so that way you're going to get really good results with it. And that's how you scale this. So levers for scale when it comes to content, there's three of them. All right, so the first one is simply creating more content. So just doing more volume. All right, so going from 2 videos a week to 5 videos a week, going from 3 tweets a day to 10 tweets a day, like just doing more. That will give more results, period. The second one is better content. So this is like better hooks, more viral content. And so like if I write, one thread a week, but I just make it better, or I just make the hook better, that will get more views and will give me more leads or book me more calls. The last thing you can do, like I mentioned, is boosting the content. So those are the three things you can do to scale content, all right, to get more leads from it. More content, better content, and boosting it. That's it. And you're just pushing everyone to the DMs, so you get more and more leads coming in, and you're going to book them with calls. All right, so that's how you do it. That's how you scale it. Honestly, everyone should be doing content because it helps to increase conversion rates on all the other acquisition channels as well. So for outbound and for ads, it just boosts conversion rates. Like that's all it does. So it just makes things better. All right, so let's move on to the second one. So we went over content, like how do you create good content, like what matters most, how to go viral, how to scale it. Let's talk about outbound. All right, so outbound, this is the easiest, fastest, cheapest way to sign clients, especially when you're starting from ground zero. This is it. You want to leverage this. And so this has made me generating like millions of dollars at this point. Like I'm really good at it. And so for online coaching, especially, like this is what I recommend is using the DMs. If you're more B2B, you can use like cold email or something like that. But if you're more like selling to consumers, then you want to use the DMs, direct messages on social media. And this will work for both warm audiences, so think your followers, people that engage with your stuff, or also cold audience, people that don't know you at all. This works for both. All right. So I'm going to go over the high level, like how you actually make this reality, how you actually build a consistent, predictable system to book you calls every single day. I've done this multiple times. So here's what you do. So basically what you do is you form an outbound message. And let's say there's different approaches. Let's say you go with a direct approach. Direct approach is basically saying, like calling out your avatar. Hey, notice that you're, this type of person, or you follow this page, or, this is your career path, or whatever is your avatar. And you basically say, like, do you want this dream outcome? I offer this risk reversal, or I've gotten this social proof, these results. It's a super basic message. Are you open to the details, or are you interested? Something like that. Super simple. You're just like, you're using target market, dream outcome, and then you're adding in some what's the word I'm looking for? Some juice, some fluff to it, where you're adding either social proof or a risk reversal, basically to increase confidence of, hey, this guy's legitimate. That's what you want. So you send that out, and you formulate one message. You're sending this one message to at least 300 people, all right? And that's your sample size. So send out the same message to 300 people. Then after that, you have your sample size, you have sufficient data. And what you do, you observe the data. So you're looking at, okay, what's the positive reply rate? And what's the appointment booking rate? All right, so appointment booking rate is how many people actually, percentage of people that actually booked a call from that message. And then the first one is how many people actually, positively replied in the first place. So you want to track those metrics. And minimum appointment booking rate we aim for is going to be 2 to 3%, depending on if it's cold or warm. All right, it's warm, we aim for 3. If it's cold, we aim for at least 2. Those are bare minimums, by the way. So I've done campaigns that do a whole lot more than that, but that's bare minimum for at least for scale, So that's what you're doing. You send it out, 300 messages, you observe results. If it's good, if you're hitting those metrics of 2 or 3%, then you simply do more. You simply scale the message. You just send more. I'll go over how to do that in a moment. But you just do more. Don't change anything at all. Just do more. Now, what happens if you don't see the results that you want? You don't hit those metrics. Well, you want to make an iteration. So you want to change the message. All right, then you do the same thing. You change the message. You send 300 more messages out. You look at the sample size. You look at the data, the metrics. And you either, it's a winner, cool, so you keep doing it, or it's not, so you iterate again. So this takes time. It does. It takes like a month, 2 months maybe, 3 months maybe. But once you get a winner, this is the most consistent system like ever to book calls. It's more consistent in content because you're not relying on an algorithm. It's more consistent in ads as well. All right, so once you have a winner, like it is hyper consistent into the same, because you can just reverse engineer. Okay, if I want to book this many calls, I need to send this many messages. If I want to make this much money, you can reverse engineer it all. It becomes that easy. It becomes that easy to scale, which is really nice. So that's a game. And then how do you scale this? So let's say you have a winner. How do you actually scale this thing? So first thing is more messages. Now platforms do have message limits, so you want to be aware of that. But you want to just max out as many as you can send. Then something you can do is more platforms. So if you're just on LinkedIn right now, okay, let me add Facebook, let me add Twitter, let me add Instagram, just add more platforms. And probably the same stimulus, probably the same initial message is probably going to work. Sometimes you have to iterate, but most times it does work on different platforms. All right, the third thing you can do here is get more followers in your audience. All right, this is like by doing the content thing and getting more followers that way, going viral content, boosting your content. If you do that, what's going to happen? You're going to gain more followers because you're producing good content, and then you can reach out to those followers using the outbound system. Boom. All right, so those two systems can like boost each other. All right, that's used. The last thing you can do to scale it is more accounts. So you can set up multiple accounts. You can add setters. Setters should basically use their own account, and they use your outbound system to book you calls. All right, and that's how you do it. All right, those are the 4 methods to scale. So more messages, more platforms, more followers, or more accounts. And you can scale this thing big, like really big. So that's how you scale outbound. And everyone can do this, like especially like just starting out. This is, again, the easiest, fastest, and cheapest way to sign clients if you're just starting out. But there's companies that scale this to 7 or 8 or even 9 figures of outbound system overall. So this thing's a weapon. All right, last thing, ads. All right, so let's go over ads. Let me take a sip of water. So for ads, all right, how do we do this? So example of like the power of ads, I'll share this one example with you. So I launched an ad with one of the coaches I'm working with. His name is Sam Johnson. We ran the same ad for about like 6 months or so. And we're actually still running it. It's probably over 6 months now. But this one ad, like literally one ad, helped him grow from $10K a month in his business to he hit $107,000 in 1 month, cash collected. All right, so that shows you the power. Like if you have a winning ad and you can really crank these babies, like you can take one ad and just scale it, like just go ham. So for this, I do want to preface though as well. Ads are really what I recommend once you're at like at least 10K a month in your business, because like it requires capital, obviously. And so if you don't have capital, like it's not worth like spending $10. Like that's not enough to find a winner. You need some capital to actually test a few things typically to actually find your winning and scale that up. So that's the big preface thing I do want to say. But ads are really similar to outbound in terms of the testing. So basically what you do, you test an ad creative, you run it, you get a good sample size, then you observe the metrics. All right, is this getting me leads at a good price? Am I converting these leads into clients? All right, if it's not, then we need to iterate the ad, change it, and make a new ad. If it is, then we just scale it. We just spend more on ads. So that's really simple as far as like the high level. How do you actually have a consistent system? Because once again, ads are very similar to outbound. Like once you have it consistent, you have the metrics down, you simply reverse engineer. Okay, leads cost me this much, calls would cost me this much, and this means I can acquire clients for this much. I'm making 5x more profit when I do this. So it's really simple. All right, so that's like high level how the big 3 work, how the 3 acquisition channels work. So we have content, we have outbound, and we have ads. All right, so now you know this. Now you know like high level, how do you actually make all of these work? Don't do all of them. All right, just pick 1 to 2. All right, so if you're just starting out, it's probably gonna be content and outbound. If you're more advanced, your business is already making like 20, 30K a month, you're probably gonna do content, and then you can maybe tack on ads. That would make sense for you. All right, but just focus on 1 to 2 and go ham on them, like go absolutely nuts. All right, really focus on the scaling points that I said. So once you find your winner, focus on how do we scale this, just do more. Because a lot of times, like one of the biggest mistakes I made in the past is I would have like a converting system to book calls, and then I would just do something else, do something new, shiny object that I saw someone post about, someone make a YouTube video about, like something like that. It's just like stupid. Once you have a converting thing, just do more. Like just do more. Like that's the easiest way to scale, is just doing more. All right, so that's key here. All right, and if you're watching this, lead gen is probably like your bottleneck in the business. Probably like the one thing that, hey, if you booked 100 calls a month, 200 calls a month, like you just make way more money, right? So if that's the case, if that's like the one thing in your business that if you just do way more, you're gonna make way more money, just focus all your energy on this, like all of it. Like stop trying to iterate your sales process or like do crazy things with the product right now. Like just focus on the one bottleneck of your business, and that's how you really unlock scale. All right, so that's the video. If you are an online coach yourself and you just want to basically swipe all my systems, templates, scripts for all this stuff A to Z as far as how to book you in just an absurd amount of calls, I do offer this, and I also offer one-on-one help. So click the link below if you're interested in that. I have a video going over what I do. So click that if you're interested. If not, thank you so much for watching. You're amazing. Hope you have an amazing day. I'll speak to you soon. Peace.